Sup everybody, Heavy Entertainment here. Today I'm starting a new series that's going to be called Belongs in the Trash. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing is taking a look at an album that may have received some negative reviews in the past, and I'm going to decide whether or not it actually deserves another listen, or if it does in fact belong in the trash. Thing is, today, I'm not alone. I got my buddy over from Cynical Let's Plays.
Hey ladies and gents, this is The Cynic, and today we're going to be taking a look at
Lulu by Metallica and Lou Reed.
Oh.
Now this thing is... I can tell you right now it's pretty bad, because I've listened to it. He has not, though. This is going to be his first time listening to the full album.
I have listened to The View.
He has listened to The Table.
Which is my favorite song on the album, coincidentally.
Yeah.
I pretty much just listened to that song and then stopped. So, yeah, I'm curious. Does this album actually have some material worth listening to? Or, as you put it earlier, does it belong in the trash?
A little bit of background on this album. Essentially, Lou Reed and Metallica first came up with the idea when they were playing a couple shows for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concert. I think it was their 25th anniversary. And Lou Reed went to them with this idea for this concept album of Lulu. And Metallica said, screw it, let's do it. Thing came out in 2011 and was universally panned for being a complete and utter piece of shit.
Now, what follows, Lulu in itself, you would think, oh, is it about a girl or whatever? What follows after this minute the first song starts is the ramblings of an absolute madman, backed up by Metallica.
So pretty much what we're going to be doing is we're going to be stopping between each song and listening to each song, and then we're going to cut back in and give you our kind of opinions on each song as we go on.
Oh,
so you're going to be listening to our reviews after each individual song, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty fun for you to listen, but pretty rough for us.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Let's do it!
Oh, I'm so psyched.
I am not.
I'm not sports. I'm not sports entertained.
I was big up in a lorry when things got pretty gory as I crossed to the Brandenburg Gate. I was feeling snappy, perhaps I'd been napping if I'd just ate. Following hard can tear you apart on a midnight ship.
I would cut my arms and tits off when I think of Boris Karloff and Kinski in the dark of the moon.
Small town girl! So that happened. That was Brandenburg Gate.
What in the holy high hell did I just listen to? Okay, first off, I didn't even know what Brandenburg Gate is, but apparently it's a huge gate.
It's a big gate in Berlin. I'm pretty sure it's part of the Berlin Wall.
Right. Okay.
But regardless, this song is fucked.
Okay. First,
it starts off with a shitty acoustic guitar, and it's bad.
Yeah.
It is like they're going for something, and I have no idea what.
Yeah, and I guess I should bring this point up now. I didn't know that Lou Reed was behind this, and when you told me he's like, yeah, it's Lou Reed, and I was like, who the fuck is Lou Reed? And he was like the guy who wrote Take a Walk on the Wild Side, and I was baffled because that sounds like some old failed country singer singing in his basement.
I mean, to be fair, Lou Reed did do a lot of work with Velvet Underground. I've never been a fan of them, but...
I'm not a fan of Velvet Underground myself. Yeah,
avant-garde.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Regardless, pretty much the thing about this song that you notice, and it goes throughout the entire album, is that it's just a bad contrast between heavy metal guitars and all Metallica and groaning lyrics by Lou Reed. Just followed by random outbursts of James Hetfield saying, I don't even know what.
Rambling. You could have put any other band, he could have hired some garage band off the street.
Yeah.
Told them to sing Small Town Girl, and it would have sounded exactly the same.
Yeah.
I did not that didn't sound like Metallica was doing the backing. It was so generic and boring.
Yeah, I know. It's a simple riff. I think it was probably like maybe 3 or 4 chords.
Yeah, like you can already tell a ton of effort was put into this album. The fact that we're bashing it right now...
I'm pretty sure this entire album was maybe a first take, maybe a second. And even that, I think it would be stretching it.
From Lou Reed's diary that he kept away for like 30 years. All of his wild side experiences.
Oh, yeah, with his legs and tits.
Oh, that first lyric. Like, how are you supposed to connect that to a gate in Berlin with the lyric, I would cut my legs and tits off when I think of Boris Karloff, the guy who played Frankenstein, and Kinski. I'm actually not sure who Kinski is.
Neither do I.
But, regardless, boring song.
Next.
For worship of someone who actively despises you. Who actively despises you. I am the view. I am the table. I am the view. I am the table. I am all this. I am the root. The progress. The aggressor. I am the table. I am the 10 stories. I am the table. I am.
Okay, so let's just dress the elephant on the table.
I think the moral of this song is James Hetfield really wants to be furniture.
I mean, what the hell is this?
I'm not sure what I just listened to.
I honestly think, from a musical point, that the guitar work is better on Brandenburg Gate, which is bad.
Well, Brandenburg Gate was just boring.
It was boring. This one, well, the first half of it is just the same riff being played over and over with even more fucked up lyrics than before.
The lyrics. We'll get to the lyrics.
But just from Metallica's point of view, like, they did pick it up a bit at the end where they had, I guess you could call it a solo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Kirk Hammett just kind of showed up. It's like, hey guys, I want to do something.
Yeah.
It's nothing compared to anything that he did. Slightly better than his solos on Saint Anger.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't listened to all Saint Anger, but I know it is bad.
There's no solos.
Oh, there's no solo. Okay, it's bad.
We may do that album someday.
We may have that album.
But...
Okay.
Let's get to the lyrics.
All right. So the first thing that I noticed in this song is that he immediately is just saying "fuck you" to everybody who's trying to make sense of this.
Yes.
Because one of the lyrics is literally, "There is no time for guilt or second guessing."
Second guessing.
He says it twice. I mean, come on. And then the rest of it is just rambling.
Yeah, it goes from, like, I want to see your suicide to, I want you on the floor.
I have no morals. Some think me cheap. And someone who does, like, the purity of love. Oh.
What does this have to do with tables?
That's what I want to know.
I am looking at my table right now, and I don't feel like killing myself.
The purity of love.
Oh, second guessing. Second guessing.
Okay, so, alright, so pretty much the only two things that we can really talk about without just babbling on are the boring music, the first bit of the lyrics, like the second guessing thing. The rest is just rambling until the end.
The end is glorious in just the worst ways.
I am the table.
I am all this.
Oh, I am... I am. Okay. So, but I think I have an explanation for this.
Oh, this should be good.
Okay, so earlier in the song, He's going on like during the first little pickup there. He says all these things like "I am the."
Yeah, it's like I am the
am
the tablet. I am the root.
Progress. Now the tablet. That's the that's the thing I think that he intended to say, but he accidentally said table and just ran with it. Like, table. Oh, that's better. That's a lot better.
That would make sense because this sounds like it was the first and only take.
And it sounds like just the rabblings of a man with a serious mental illness. He's not even singing. I noticed that. He's just talking.
He's just talking. He's rambling.
And the worst part, it's like he's trying to do a Christopher Walken impression, which I think would be much more, would make a much better album.
Second guessing.
I am the roots.
I am the table.
I am all this. Bottom line.
I want you on the floor.
I want to see your suicide.
The song needs more cowbell. Next.
Supreme violation. Jack, I beseech you. Oh, Jack, I beseech you. Supreme violation. Blood in the foyer, the bathroom, the tea room, the kitchen, with her knives blade. I will swallow you sharp as cutter, like a colored man's big blood spurting from me. Oh, Jack!
Well, I now know what Lou Reed orgasming sounds like.
Oh, Jack. I beseech you.
I'm really not sure if I needed to know that, but I'm going to take that one to my grave now.
Yeah, well, that was
pumping blood.
That was pumping blood. That was a 7-minute mess. From the Metallica point of view, there actually was some really solid riffs there.
I liked the opening. The opening wasn't bad.
Yeah, the first maybe 30... Pretty much the opening was great until Lou Reed came in.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's this heavy-sounding riff that goes throughout the entire song, but there's also this screeching guitar that you just hate after the first 2 minutes, and it goes for all 7.
It never goes away, does it?
It never actually does go away.
I eventually ended up tuning it out because the tempo changed and the good sounding riff went away, so Lou Reed could sing.
Yeah, the ending of this song does get pretty heavy and some pretty fast. Like the thrash elements of Metallica start coming out, and just the shit elements of Lou Reed are just present everywhere.
Well, and that's the thing. According to you, that's the thing. That's the problem with a lot of this album is just that Lou Reed cannot fucking keep up.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Metallica's going at normal Metallica speed.
Yeah, they're trying hard to make a decent song, and then here comes Lou Reed.
If this album was an instrumental, it'd be good.
Do you think so?
I think it could be good. Even if you cut down the song length and just make it riffs, I'd listen to it.
And add more solos and get rid of the annoying guitar?
Yes.
Maybe.
Now, as for the lyrics, there's some really screwed up ones in here, like
a colored man's dick. What the fuck, Lou Reed?
Waggle my ass like a dark prostitute.
Come on, James. James.
Would you...
Kick it, James. Waggle your ass like a dark prostitute.
That's what I like. Oh, Jack.
I'm gonna waggle it like you're going for a colored man's dick. Waggle it, James.
Would you top me off?
Use a knife on me, rip and cut me. Jesus Christ, this is very, very disturbing.
Yes.
And not in the good way.
No.
I think that's all we got to say about this. It's a goddamn mess.
Next.
Dress and a train. You're a snake cold that make a hard straight line.
The only way I can describe that song is it's Metallica driving down the highway at 150 kilometers an hour, and Lou Reed's following right behind them on a scooter going 5.
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, man. That was... I will... you know what? I'll give it this. Not as bad as, like, Pumping Blood or The View.
That was probably the fastest Metallica riff that they've done since the 80s, and something off of Justice for All.
Yeah.
That was actually impressive by Metallica, that they can still play at that speed.
I have no gripes, really, with the music.
Let's get to Lou Reed.
Let's get to Lou Reed. Now...
Oh my God, this song is descriptive.
Very, and you would never really think that because he's singing at such a low volume that he comes off as mumbling.
I know. So
Yeah.
Now I can say I've heard Lou Reed say, "I am a secret lover. I am your little girl. Please spit into my mouth."
And that's the thing. See, in some twisted way, I guess Lou Reed is getting to me. I'm starting to understand what exactly this album is about.
It's about a prostitute who has these weird perversions. I'm assuming it's just Lou Reed and his kinks.
Oh, yeah, I imagine. It's just Lou Reed's readings from Lou Reed's sex diary. Yeah. You know, he calls himself Lulu.
50 Shades of Lou.
50 Shades of Reed. But at the same time, I think it would be better, like, if you thought of it not as a prostitute, but just some random person who could have these thoughts, like walking down the street or whatever. But I doubt that they put that much thought into this.
Please open me, I beg, and then insert a fist, an arm.
Please don't read it. Please don't.
Right in there.
Please stop reading the lyrics. I already had to read them myself and listen to them, although it's not like I could understand Lou Reed.
Yeah.
Overall, a very low meh.
Next.
You can't put a butterfly in a jar if the effort's too mine. No matter who you are, you can't catch the moon or the sun or the stars. It doesn't matter who you are. Eyes turning, eyes turning.
And if you shift through a mountain of shit, you may find a very teeny tiny diamond that makes the effort, well, not really worth it, but still it's something nice you can take home. Iced honey.
Tolerable.
Not garbage.
Not good, but it actually resembled some sort of a song.
I would put it very high meh.
Yeah, it was a solid meh.
Solid meh. Like, not,
It wasn't a strong meh, but it was a solid meh.
Well, I mean, just talking about the music, the melodies, it is miles above any of what we just listened to.
Lou Reed's slightly more, again, tolerable.
Yes, and he either should have been doing stuff like this. Now, he's not I realize that now he's not a very good singer.
No.
But he was going well with the melodies, and Metallica was actually playing at a pace that he could keep up with.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do... Because he used to do, like, Walk on the Wild Side, he's not singing, he's just talking, kind of.
That's pretty much his style, which works okay with his own music. It doesn't work well with a heavy metal thrash band.
Yeah, which, again, brings to question, why was this album ever made? Maybe it was just to bring us iced honey.
Maybe.
But
still not worth it.
Still not worth it, but it's something nice to take home.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Next.
Passionate let's wave upon the sea. Why you cheat on me? Why do I cheat on me? Oh, why do I cheat on me? Why do I cheat?
guess we get to the song that's the most, deep, I guess, so far.
You could say.
When it comes to the character, anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
But before we get into the whole story of things, let's talk about the music. Now, I found my head bobbing a little bit, and then I found it dropping because the song was putting me to sleep.
Yeah, like, I'm not sure. I actually enjoy a lot of the music for this. Like, the first 3.5, 4 minutes could have easily been cut out of the song. There's no reason that this needs to be, 11.5 minutes long.
I thought it was an instrumental before, Lou Reed chimed in and just started rambling. We'll get to him.
So, like, for the most part, I really enjoy the riff. I actually really like James Hetfield on this track. Lou Reed I find tolerable.
He's not the worst, but it just sounds like he's forgetting where to chime in and then trying to catch up with himself.
I just found the song is a bit slow and it's long, so you just kind of... It goes on and you just kind of get bored.
I would totally inject heroin to this song. I would totally zone out and inject heroin to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for the actual...
Yeah.
As for the actual lyrics of the story, pretty much what we gather from it is Lulu pretty much just is done with everyone, including herself.
Yeah, like the lines, like, many lovers like rain, so many of them. Cheating on herself, I guess, is just the fact that she can't get emotionally attached to anyone, and that makes her dead inside.
Yeah.
And the cheating in itself is just, why do you cheat on me?
Yeah, it's like lines like, I have no real feelings in my soul. Where most have passion, I've got a hole. I really got nobody else.
Yeah, this isn't subtle.
No,
subtlety.
It's in your face what's going on. It's not the worst on the album. Say, next to Ice Honey, it's the most song.
It's the most,
It's the most like a song.
Yeah, and I guess this is the best so far. Like, they combined both styles a little bit. Yeah. That worked the best so far.
Yeah, it's not bad, it's just incredibly boring after a while.
Yeah, and I think the crazy thing is we're trying to rationalize this as the further and further we go.
I think this album's just breaking us a little bit as we go on.
Yeah.
But, that concludes disc 1 of this 90-minute thing.
Album? I wouldn't go that far. Next.
You're feeling less horror, but you stimulate the hatred smolders in your eyes. I drop to my knees in a second to salivate in your thighs. But all I do is fall over. I don't have the strength I once had in you, and your prickless lover and his easel in his eyes. I feel a pain creep up my leg. Blood runs from my nose. I puke my guts out at your feet. You're more man than I.
Welcome back, Lou Reed's fucked up lyrics.
Oh, I've missed you.
So, after a couple legitimately okay songs, we have Frustration.
Which is... I wouldn't even call this bad. I would just find it... I would call it confusing.
Yeah. This song frustrates me.
It frustrates me.
Frustrates me.
Frustration. Alright, so starting off with the
music.
We got a solid 2002
Godsmack riff. I stand alone.
Okay, so pretty much that's it's a riff that's been done before. It's nothing interesting.
And that's the high part of the music. It gets really boring near the middle. And Lou Reed. Let's get into these lyrics.
Okay, so right off the bat, I mentioned this to you while we were listening to it. it sounds like it switches between, like, maybe the perspective of Lulu and the perspective from another person, because this whole time it sounded like, so far on the album, it sounds like this is coming directly from Lulu, but however, it's also, this song is sounding like it's being said from a man, being told from a man's perspective.
Which actually could be fairly interesting if the rest of the songs are like that, because then it'll be like disc 1 is Lulu and disc 2 is someone else.
Yeah.
It doesn't excuse the lyrics for being absolute shit.
And
you have
nonsense.
Some great lines here, like, I puke my guts out at your feet. To be dead and have no feeling. To be dry and spermless like a girl.
And he keeps saying like a girl over and over, like, Lou, stop. Like,
he just wants to be spermless.
I don't want to go to your sex dungeon, Lou.
No.
I don't need to know about that.
It's more men than I.
Just keep that, like, and then there's
frustration.
Frustration. And then there's this, like, big part where it's just like, it sounds like something you'd hear off a horror soundtrack right before, like, someone is about to get murdered.
Yeah, the first couple, the first minute of the song is literally sounds like a cat dying.
Yeah, and then there's a break where it's just Lou Reed finally talking at an ample volume.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just overall is very creepy, but not in the good way. It was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall... Next.
The little man follows his nose, counts his fingers and his toes, he's still got those. Pathetic little dog, pathetic little dog, following his nose. But it needs my money to buy.
Dude, wake up.
Fuck, that was boring.
Oh my god, the song's over, yeah.
Okay, God.
Okay,
So that was boring as hell.
So, oh fuck. Like, that was, I don't even know that was... It was so boring that I looked into the lyrics so much deeper than I should have.
I looked into the lyrics so deep that I was pretty sure I knew what it was about, and then looked even deeper and then realized I have no idea what this is about.
So, I don't think we need to say anything about the music. It just drones
on.
on.
The music is terrible. It's slow, it's quiet, it's fine for a couple minutes, but it lasts for 8
minutes. Oh, yeah. I was finding it very hard to pay attention. Meanwhile, while I was, like, nodding on and off, this song, it seems like, the way I gather, now I'm trying to make sense of this insane man's ramblings.
Yeah.
And I'm just
that's the hardest part.
And you know what the weird part is? I'm getting Stockholm Syndrome now. And we're so far into this, I just want to hear how it ends.
Yeah, well, I know the other times that I've listened to this album, I've never looked this deep into the lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I'm not saying it's any better, but pretty much what the song is, I don't even know. Pretty much, she's just given up, and she's just willing to do absolutely anything for money. She's judging people. She's just completely given up on life, is what I take of it.
Well, I think that it's not a matter of money. It's a matter of she's had the big dogs, just like all of these dudes, the big muscly man with, those are the guys she wants. But now she's looking to just literally opening the doors to anybody. You're right, completely given up.
Yeah.
And she offers these new guys, these little dogs, who she thinks would never have a chance, money. And now, money can't do anything, like the song says.
Yeah. As Lou Reed puts it, little dog doesn't have much at all. A puny body and a tiny dick.
Real small.
Yeah.
Real small.
Little small dick.
Next.
One fucks with one fucks with. Poor pitiful creature. The winner in heartbreak. The winner in caring.
Well, call it Stockholm Syndrome, but I actually really like this song.
Right?
I know, like, I mean, the first couple minutes are just garbage, but once the riff kicks in, and it's the only time on the album where the heavy Metallica guitar riffs actually work with the song.
I would agree. There's still
Lou Reed's Louisms, but...
Louisms. We'll call them Louisms.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, like, half the time it feels like, especially in the beginning, it's like he's rambling, whatever. But I will agree, when the music picks up, it really, like...
It complements the song well. It's the only time on the album it does.
Yeah, and I would, you call it Stockholm Syndrome, this sucked me in, because now I can get, like, so the story, pretty much from what I gather, is... Now that, Lulu, or Lou, I imagine
I'm assuming this is just
Lou Reed's alternate identity, yeah.
Female prostitute Lou Reed.
Yeah, took a walk on the wild side.
Got pretty wild.
Got pretty wild. But what I can see is she's angry at everyone.
Including herself, and she's pretty much just giving up, like crying out to God, but is mainly pissed off.
Yeah, she pretty much has nobody to be mad at except herself, so she turns that to another, pretty much the only person she could be mad at, a godly figure, and it flip-flops in between and creates kind of a conversation between Lulu and who she sees as God, and what God is doing to her, or what she thinks her vision of God is, like, what its purpose is, and that's just to, like, your heavenly body, you are perfect, and you are made to make me feel like garbage, you're making me do all this.
Yeah, and that's where it really comes with the line, are we both dead now? Because she's pretty much accepted her life's done, she has absolutely nothing to live for, and she's assuming that because a godly figure did this, then pretty much he's saying, fuck you.
Yeah.
We're both dead. Like, this figure of God is dead to her.
That's the one thing that you can take away from this is that it's very angry.
It's very angry, it's very aggressive, and that's the reason that having Metallica on this album, well, not on this album, but on this song, works really well.
Yeah.
As Metallica plays this heavy, hard-hitting riff.
Yeah.
And it complements the lyrical themes and just the tone of this song really well. Yeah. I actually really like this song. It doesn't make up for the last, 8-9 tracks.
No, it does not.
But this is probably the only song so far that I would actually go off and listen to again, just on its own.
Yeah, I'd probably say this one, and I have an attraction to Iced Honey. Maybe that's because it was after 4 songs of complete garbage.
Yes, yeah.
But I also like Iced Honey.
This does show that the second disc is a bit better. Like, the second half of this album is a bit better than the first.
And I am so excited to see how it ends.
Gotta love Stockholm Syndrome.
Gotta love Stockholm Syndrome.
Next.
Come to me if I was half drowning, an arm above the last wave.
And I guess that brings our story to a close. And I say story very sparingly. Because the first part made no sense at all.
Oh god, no. Disc 1 was a nightmare.
Disc 1 was a chore, to say the least.
Yeah.
But before we talk about the whole album, on to Junior Dad. I was very surprised because this was a nice kind of just slow, sad, but at the same time happy kind of song.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like musically, like the guitar kind of reminds me a bit of Unforgiven 3 by Metallica. Mm-hmm. The beginning part was just kind of slow, and the solo playing. The one thing with the song, though, I have to say is it's too long. Like,
yes.
It is 20 minutes, and literally the Metallica stops playing after like 10 minutes. And it's literally just violin for like 8-9 minutes. That does not have to be there. Especially when he realizes this album's like 87 minutes, I think it is. So if you take that out, it's one disc.
Yeah.
There was no reason this album needed to be a double album.
There was no reason for 9 extra minutes of just violins.
Yeah. As for the song, it's actually not a bad song for closing out the story of the album.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what we gather from it is Lulu pretty much just lost her mind, pretty much killed herself.
Yeah.
And is pretty much like asking for forgiveness.
Yeah,
well, at least that's what I gathered out of this. Mainly with the line, "Would you pull me up?" Pretty much she's asking God for forgiveness to let her go up to heaven, kind of thing.
Yeah, or perhaps later on in the song, Junior Dad, I think, represents someone aging prematurely, like on the inside because of her. Now, maybe there's something we missed, but I don't think so. Like, what I gathered, like, she was going steadily with some guy. See, maybe it could
Maybe that's
been,
Little Dog.
Or, no, that wouldn't be Little Dog,
no,
I don't think. But it would have been, like, from the earlier disc, in, like, disc 1. Because,
alright, we probably missed it when we were smashing our brains against the wall for absolutely hating everything.
Horrible. But now that I look back on it, I actually see, like, okay, she was going with this guy, but she said, like, oh, I'll never love you, and then went just down this thing. And Junior Dad, he comes in. I'm just calling him Junior Dad, I guess, because the label they slapped on him. Steve comes in after she's killed herself, and just kind of it expresses her killing herself, its effect on him, and that's kind of like psychologically. This story is not bad.
It's a deep, thoughtful story. It's just the execution was not well.
Piss poor on for the first part, garbage.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Like the one thing I will say about Junior Dad though is it's not bad, but it's not a song I would ever revisit unless I'm listening to the entire album, which chances are I'm not going to do.
Don't know why you do.
No, like overall, out of all the songs, I can only think of one song that I would listen to again, and that is Dragon.
And I would say the same thing for Dragon, but also Iced Honey, because I think it's just catchy. But that's
it's catchy. I wouldn't honestly go back to it myself. I'd say there's one redeeming song.
Yeah, I would say there's overall 3 songs worth listening to, and it is the first half of this one, because the last 8 minutes are garbage.
Yeah.
The Iced Honey and Dragon.
Yeah. Cheat on Me's not terrible, but
the lyric, the execution on the lyrics.
Yeah, no, I just like the riff, but that's literally it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for most of these songs, if I want to listen to good Metallica riffs, I'll go listen to a Metallica album.
Yeah, and this
honestly, even for Lou Reed, if I want to listen to a Lou Reed song, I'll go listen to his other stuff. Neither artist is at anything close to being good here.
No, the combination is just awful, and I have a feeling that James Hetfield and Lou Reed just were wearing business suits at the release of this, and were just smoking like huge cigars and just being like, we did it. We trolled everyone, and just maniacal laughter ensued.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you know what? I will say, despite with me having no expectations, I will say not the music, but the story kind of pulled me in and made me think. So I can at least give the album that.
Yeah.
Not as bad as I expected. Although I had no expectations.
Well, I mean, the first 4 tracks just smash any expectations you had of this album. They are so bad.
I was turning into Junior Dad listening to those songs.
Yeah.
I was aging.
Overall, I'd rank the album table out of 10.
Table out of 10. We'll give it that.
But the real burning question is, would you recommend this album for a re-listen, or does it belong in the trash?
You know what? I was going to say in the trash. I was. And the first half, the first 4 songs, complete garbage in the trash. Get rid of them. But I will say, give it a listen once. Give the story, take the story in, because the story is interesting. Mm-hmm. It's not boring on all levels. It's not just nonsense like I thought.
Yeah.
Even though it does have like a bit of Lou Reed's sex dungeon erotica in there for some reason.
Fair. I'm not sure if I'm being a bit more critical. I'm saying listen to Dragon, forget about the album, just read the lyrics.
Yeah, that's also very true. You could also do that.
Like, the lyrics are an interesting story. I'd rather read the story than listen to Lou Reed drone the story.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Except for Dragon. For some reason, I love the song Dragon.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But it's the only song that I actually would go back and listen to again.
Yeah.
And pretty much the other 9 songs, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend anyone to listen to it.
No, I'd say, you know what, give it a listen as a so bad it's good, listening, and then throw it in the trash.
That may be fair, because this is also the first time that you've listened to this album. Yeah. For me, it's like the second or third.
I imagine it drones on you.
Yeah. But overall, that's our opinion on Lulu.
Then, that was the whole story. So, I guess, closing thoughts. Thanks for including me in this little collab video here.
Yeah, no worries. Plus, I highly recommend you check out this guy's channel, Cynical Let's Plays.
Cynical Let's Plays, all one word.
Yeah, he's currently doing a playthrough of Pokemon Fire Red, so if you're into that type of thing, I'd highly recommend it. He needs more views, and there's some quality jokes in it.
And as always, you should continue to check out Heady Entertainment's videos, because you'll find some really good, thoughtful analyses,
close enough.
On
I do reviews and stuff.
Yeah, and some really thought-provoking, really solid reviews on albums that you've probably listened to at some point in your lifetime.
Even though mostly I do album reviews for like new albums that come out.
Oh yeah, very true.
But I'll leave a link in the I'll leave a link in the description below to Good Buddy's channel here, and
with that, I think we'd have to say
next.